So we'd like to get the landscape of the 2019 class and how it looks here early.
Yeah, pretty good. Florida would definitely be going after a quarterback again, and probably more in the dual threat role. So look for Jalen Jones to be the main quarterback target there. He was previously committed to Dan Mullen at Mississippi State, 6'3", 180-pound quarterback. So I would think he's probably he's looking around, but I would think Florida has to feel pretty good about him. Top running back in the nation is from the state of Florida. Trey Sanders, his brother just committed to Florida. He was the JUCO prospect for the 2018 class, just committed to Florida over the weekend. Umstead Sanders, and Trey Sanders has said he would like to play with his brother. His mom is a Gator fan, so we'll kind of see if that helps Florida in trying to corral the top running back in the nation there. So a lot of other kids, Micah Pittman, or wide receiver John Dunmore. Florida's still going to be trying to get in for those guys. And see maybe if Jeremiah Payton, who's committed to Miami from here in Jacksonville, seems like he could change his mind a little bit. But it's a lot of excitement around what Dan Mullen is doing, and Florida has open spring practice. These first couple practices, opening another one that's coming up Saturday, and players and recruits have noticed, how energetic it is, how hype it is, and what they like, and they like to see it, and they see what Dan Mullen is doing. Just really excited about the future. That they're excited about the future of Florida. And I would tell you this: Dan Mullen's not afraid. That's what the big knock on what Jim McElwain was afraid to go toe to toe with the big programs. Not going to just get the players that you can get, but let's go like last cycle. Let's go get an Emory Jones when we're battling Alabama and Ohio State for him, and you end up getting Dan Mullen's not afraid to go head to head. So another kid, if you want to move to defense, Kyer Elam. Matt Elam's former Florida Gator, is a nephew of him. So, is a big time 4-star, 5-star prospect or wherever recruiting service you're looking at. Florida has to be in good shape for him, given the history there. And Kobe Dean out of Mississippi. Dan Mullen has a history out of Mississippi, the linebacker there. 6 foot, 215 pounds. So he's got offers from everywhere, but can Mullen's history in the state of Mississippi can help him there? So it's just a few of the targets Florida's going to be in on. They have Kayvon Thibodeau in from California this past weekend. He had a good visit. Derek Hunter is another defensive lineman that Florida's in on. Can they pull him in? I would say 6'5", 280 pound. Probably was close to committing to Florida at one point, but really he's been talking really well about Florida. Was on campus this past weekend for the second time. Talks really high about Florida, and is a big time prospect. Florida should feel pretty good about at this point. So it's just a lot of excitement for on the field with spring practice and off the field when you hear about these recruits talking about what they see at spring practice and how their visits are going.
All right. The spring game is coming up on April 14th. David Waters from Gators Breakdown. Please check him out on YouTube and all the major audio platforms for the very best in Florida football coverage. And Gators Breakdown and David Waters handle there on Twitter, as well as he's constantly giving insight and information and news on the Florida football program. All right, David, we appreciate you stopping by. You got us all caught up. It's good stuff.
All right. Thanks, Mark.